I'm really grateful for the invite to such a vibrant event. It really does make the job of going to work a pleasurable, really, so I'm very, very grateful. To keep communities and the city safe, agencies must work together. They must do that because no one single agency can solve the problem on their own. But something much more important than that is agencies understanding of what's really happening in our communities across the city. They really must listen, and I mean listen, and I know we don't always get it right, and so we must work hard to do that, but listen to what your experiences are, what your fears, what your concerns are, and what you think the solutions might be to the problem. We don't always get it right, and we don't always have the answers, but between us, we should have those answers to those problems. That's why projects like this are so important, because this is our opportunity to work together on these problems. So I hope tonight is just the start of a journey that we go on together to make the city a much safer and happier place to live, work and socialise. So thank you once again.
Thank you very much, Mandy. First of all, I did say that Monday looks after the policy partnership. That's not correct. I believe Monday manages
He's
teams. Apologies for that. The next item on the agenda happens to be Act 10, Assembly Apologies. So we will see the Iranian music or instrument of Ali Santi's apologies. So unfortunately we are not able to listen to him on this occasion, but at least we will have another chance to listen to him. Now, at this time, we will have some presentations, award presentations. This will be done by John Ford. Now I shouldn't say what I said earlier. John Ford, Coventry Partnership, and Mr. Popinda Basti. Popinda is the Chief Executive of Coventry Refugee Center. So they will be presenting awards to several persons in this audience. John Popinda.
This is working.
Right, Peter and I are doing a little that. Actually, we've got the nice of Coventry, which is actually giving the awards out tonight. There's a lot been said about this project, and I've actually been working in Coventry now 2.5 years. One of the first things I worked on was the Migration Impact Fund, and it made working or coming to work in Coventry an absolute pleasure because partners, I was really surprised at the enthusiasm of partners and the community, and it's just a wonderful city to work in, and I've certainly enjoyed the last 2.5 years. I just want to thank some of the key partners that took part in the project, and as you can see, it was a wonderful project that's led in the Refugee Centre, CMAT, the new communities forum, the fire service, the police, and the city council, all together. I can remember sitting about 2.5 years ago, thinking about putting the bid in, and we all sat together thinking about what could we do. And actually, what we did was wonderful. It's brought everybody together, and it's certainly a wonderful celebration. I'm really pleased to be here tonight.
This is the part of the evening where we get to pay tribute to our community champions. And I just want to say very quickly why it is we should pay tribute to these tribunes from new communities. You know, you see a number of flags go behind just now and behind other performers. And I know that at Coventry Refugee Centre we have clients whose countries of origin now originate in number from 89 different countries. 79. That's amazing. The world is here in Coventry. And part of the and its partners has been to help Coventry to achieve the status of a city of sanctuary. And that possibly is the most important reason why we should pay tribute to the 49 shadows that were lined up behind Tina Love a few minutes ago. She spoke with great passion, great courage, and with confidence. Well done, Tina, for being our example, and an example for many others. And that's what the 50 community champions have been. We know, or I should know, as the son of an immigrant, what it means for new communities to build communities. Often the men arrive at the beachhead first and want to find jobs and get money and try and sort their lives out. But communities are built when women and children arrive. That's when education, policing, safety of our communities, and above all, future becomes real in this city of sanctuary. Now we know that many of our clients and many of the new communities of today have come from places where the human family has paid the price in suffering of human conflict, hatred, ruled by tyrants. And many, when they arrive here, are tired. Tired of that conflict, tired of that hatred, and tired of the rule of despots and tyrants. And the first sign I see every morning when I drive into Coventry is "Welcome to Coventry, City of Peace and of Reconciliation." The most important task of our new communities in their community building is not to remain new communities for long, but to join us across the bridge from stranger to citizen, from stranger to Coventry. And that's the journey that the 50 community-based champions have started, and they've been willing enough, able enough, and open enough in their hearts to lead for their communities. And in the future, I expect as a child somewhere who's been touched by the appearance of a new community person or a new community-based champion at an event, the many events that Migrant Impact Fund has held. And that child possibly hadn't thought of joining the police or the fire service, or possibly hadn't even thought of what their future in Coventry might hold, as they're currently involved, busy in education. And no doubt the mothers and fathers of the new communities are encouraging those children to perform in education to meet their potential. But above all, there's a chance that those children will have been influenced by our community-based champions with the seed that they planted to believe that there's a future for them here in Coventry, in a city of sanctuary, in a place of peace and reconciliation. And I thank the community-based champions for doing that. It's not always a welcome that we receive. But what you have shown, and what the partners have shown, is if you do, as Tina asked you to do today, just turn around to your neighbour and hold out your hand, then we have some hope for our human family, that we can get to know each other. The biggest thing about community-based champions, when I've met them in a group, is just the diverse number of communities they come from. And it's really very easy, rather like living in your own skin. You're born into a family, you're born into a community. If you stay in that family, in that community, that's wonderful. But it really is far more difficult to step across the road and get to know a stranger. To get to know somebody perhaps of a different religious belief or faith background. To get to know perhaps somebody who doesn't have a faith background at all and upholds great human rights or other principles of the human family. It's much more difficult to step outside and walk across the road to your neighbour. And that's what community-based champions have done most effectively throughout the year when I've observed them. And I thank them for that example, thank them for planting that seed. And I know for certain, because it was the experience of the immigrant community from which I come, that in